Hello YouTube and welcome to another plot review video, and this time we've got a pretty special plot for you. This is made by the Wiz King, or the underscore Wiz King, Wiz underscore King, you can see it there, I can't speak, blah. And I've actually reviewed this plot already and it was 10 out of 10. This is a P plot, and a P plot with a rating of 10 out of 10 will get you Master Builder, which is what he's achieved. We currently only have 2 Master Builders. We've got, oh no, maybe 1 now, because we did have Pocket Phoenix and he's just become Moderator, which is a new rank we've added. So yeah, there's that. So there's the Wiz King, Robin-Craft99 I think's a Master Builder as well. But yeah, there's quite a lot to see and it's a really nice plot and I just think it works really well. So this is the entrance. And straight away you've got this nice little small alleyway all the way down there, and you've got this main street here. So you come in here and it's a nice little shop. It appears to be selling lots of bits and bobs, you know. You've got some weaponry, you've got pots and pans and clothes, flowers and stuff like that. It's all sort of pushed to the edge, but it's all quite nice. There's a nice big space. I think maybe if there was a table here with something on it, you know, using those 2 blocks, that might work nicely as well. But if it all fits nicely, it all looks good, and that's obviously meant to be up that trapdoor. So all the shelving and everything works. It's all pretty nice. So let's just go check out the upstairs. You go up here, and this is sort of the living area for whoever owns this shop. You've got the little kitchen area here. I'm not sure if this rug would be that white, but you know, you got the food prep area, and then out back here you've got all these storage, and you've got, I love this by the way, like all the workings are here. You can turn the wheels and they all come through and it lifts up the crane there, and you've got the little boat down there, and it's brilliant. I love it. I think this works really nicely, and you know, this all gets stored here. You've also got a little toilet in here. There you go, very simple, very basic. And upstairs we have a fireplace, little eating area, bed. He uses this a lot as well, the curtains for just like a curtain for the bedroom, and I really like it. I think it's a really nice idea. Might be using that for my Lake Town Let's Build when I eventually get back round to doing that. And you've got this nice little area where you can see down to the crane area down there. So I think this all works quite nicely, this building. And you also have a little balcony area here for playing cards and viewing that plot. Yeah, who owns? Oh, there is something on it. Gambler Man. I thought it was just that. Then there is a bit of a dragon going on up there, so that's fine. We'll let him off. And if you just look at the roofing and everything, it's all, you know, it's simple, but it's good. It works. It's nice, and the styling is consistent throughout the roofs as well. So we'll go down and we'll go out the back. So this is where I had a little flaw. There you go. This is only a tiny little thing, and I thought, you know, maybe you could have like a wicker fence or just normal post fence. Just block it off here. You could have had more storage, maybe like a little workyard out the back here, and this links up with this small little corridor, which is quite nice. But again, maybe, you know, you could have done something a little different here, because it's all just quite samey, I suppose. But there's not much you can do with that 1 block space. So, you know, we've got a nice little cart design here, and we've got a great little tree, blocks the view of what's going on past down there. Maybe have a bigger tree, but you know, the tree in size, it works fine. And this, I love the atmosphere of this street. You turn this corner, I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on there. I think that's really cool. That's actually a really nice facade for like the edge of a house. It's quite interesting. So yeah, we'll get back down. So you got a nice mix of materials going on for these roads. Got another little store section here. So this is what I was thinking. This area would look great over here, but like walled off. Yeah. And even using this wall blocks off the whole plot, so you can hardly see off the plot. And the fact that you've got the tree there, that works perfectly to sort of suggest that there's a lot more going on past that little wall. So the way he's done that as well works really nicely. Not too sure. Maybe I'd have put a gate or something. You know, suggesting that there was a gate leading off and it's being closed. I don't know. Not too sure, but something else. We've got a little narrower path. You know, a little bench here. Very simple. Got street lights. I'm guessing this is with the new version of Conquest. I don't have that yet, so that will be a lamp. I got told off for reviewing someone's plot the other day doing that. And then again we've got this little apple tree, another little tree and little bushes, and you can see now that the wall's breaking off, so you can almost tell that there's something going off in that direction. We've got these little crates, and these little market stalls are really great, and something I've not thought about using. I see the modern builders doing this all the time, player heads everywhere, and you've got these player heads, 35:4, so you've got these player heads everywhere to suggest it just adds more items. You know, you've got a burger, which I suppose it's a bit modern, but you could have had burgers in those days. You've got a yellow fish. You know, so player heads as well. It works in medieval if you use the right ones. I suppose you've got a big orange and a little apple. So it adds a lot more detail to this area, and you know the way the crates are piled up, it doesn't feel forced. It feels like quite natural, even though it is blocking the edge of the plot. So that works out really nicely. The only thing I suppose I would say is maybe add this metadata around every now and then. You know, that one. I think that looks quite nicely. Works quite nicely. And again, this other small little tree. These small trees are really great because they work nicely, but they also put into perspective how tall these buildings are. You know, they make them feel a lot taller because you know normally you expect the trees to be tall, and it works really well. And then you've got more storage here and more around here. And let's just go find the doorway to this building. I think this is the inn. Yep. So you come in here and it's really you can see the theme going on, the really red theme. You've got a little storage stuff there. Loads of chairs and tables about with beer bottles. You've got some kegs. You've got a small stove for preparing food. Maybe I would have had a cellar instead of like this, you know, so they could actually store more stuff. But you know, it works fine. It's nice. And then upstairs, we've got this storage space here using the extra block that you had instead of just, you know, covering it over. And we've got like a dining area upstairs, and I'm not too sure about the dining area being upstairs, but you know it does work. And I suppose actually it's not a dining area because there's beer bottles and there's all sorts going on up here. This is just like an extension of downstairs, so it all works fine. And this pillar as well, you see this all the time in pubs, or at least in England you do. Like the low beams and these pillars in the middle of the rooms, and I love that pillar. Just if that pillar wasn't there, this whole room would sort of just be one big room, but with that pillar being there, it just sort of breaks it up only slightly, but it makes a difference. Outside we've got a little terrace. You got this tree there blocking the light. I think if that tree could have somehow been moved over there, or you could have had something to block that, it would have been like even better. But it's, you know, that's tiny stuff. You can't really avoid stuff like that. I guess that's for a fireplace. That's a cool design. You don't often see that when people have fireplaces on like second-story buildings. You don't normally see the fittings and the workings on the exterior, so that's pretty cool. Next, there's another little balcony. This one's not sheltered, so this one's out in the sunlight. This is really cool as well. Again, it's just really simple stuff. And then upstairs there are some rooms. So you have a fancy toilet, a bit fancier than the one we saw in the last house or last building. Coming out here, you've got a big dining area, so there's like where the owner can host his guests. Very large fireplace, big kitchen area here. You have a guest bedroom, really cramped, and it just works nicely. You know, the shelving and stuff. It just, you know, it goes and it doesn't look too much, and I like that. And again, using this curtain design here to block off the entrance to the main master bedroom. So, you know, he's maybe making notes about his guests. We've got these shelves here, and can you actually get up to this section? I've not noticed. Can you? Oh, you must be able to. Look at all that. Look, where's the ladder to get up here? Come on. There we go. Didn't even notice that. But he has actually put it in. So that's a nice touch that he actually did add that ladder in. But yeah, just small details up here as well. Just stuff like that I didn't even notice the first time round. So that's really cool. So that's it for the inn. Let's just make our way back down here. So I think this feels a little too open. Maybe you could have added an extra building or two, but I like these. You know, you got the little well here getting water out from the sea. You've got the boat, so you have got details all along to like sort of draw your attention as you're walking along. You've got the cart there, the well there, then you've got the entrance to the pub. You know, maybe put a few chairs outside here because it feels like a big space that you could do that. You know, if you had a table and chairs there, it makes you walk around that this pillar. You know, it's just tiny little details that you could have added, but you don't really need them. And then you've got this nice bridge, and some of you might not have noticed the first time we were walking around here. You've got a little bridge that walks over here, a nice angled bridge as well. You've got a cart that's rolling off the edge of the plot that way, and a same problem along here that's not really being used, but there's not really much it can be used for, this little section, except for, you know, people just stood at the edge here, and I don't know if that gap's meant to be there, but that's like a perfect example at like the perfect moment. But just stood at the edge here, just, you know, fishing away into the lake, and you've got these little benches every now and then, so that all works fine. Maybe a little bum sleeping there, I'm guessing, with the you've got the bottle and mattress and stuff. Yep, there you go, fishing rod. So maybe that was intentional. This is what this little section's for. He's just standing at the edge fishing. So there you go. He's actually put thought into that, and the purpose to that little section there. And you come up here, and what works with this, instead of going along the front here, now you're actually going to go around the back of these houses, the back of these buildings. And this is where I get a bit confused, actually. I think this building is a hotel, and if it is a hotel, then I'm not sure if I like the idea, because it seems a bit too similar to the inn. But you know, if it's part of a major, larger city, then you know you would have stuff like this. You know, with a hotel and an inn and a pub, and you know, all those would be in the same area. The only other thing I think with this house is maybe, you know, the windows at every section, like, because it's a modular design. You don't need to have the windows every section, but again, with the style and the purpose for the building, it kind of works. So it's a hard decision to say like what's wrong and what's not wrong, if you understand. And yeah, another little note that I made there. Again, it was only like minor mistakes that I was spotting, so that's why I've gone for the 10 out of 10. Like, just, he didn't have these trapdoors here, so I said just put some trapdoors in. It just like makes it feel a bit safer walking down. And if you change the biome over, which I suppose I'll do, to extreme hills, there you go. It's wooden as well, so you know, it fits, it works. And then you've got your first room here, twin room. Works, it's all fine. You come up here, all these doors are all open for some reason, but you know, we've got this one, and you've got another one here, and then you've got another one there, and another one here, and I think another two to look at. Yep, you've got one at each end. So this has got 4 beds, and this one has 1 bed. So this actually looks like the nicest one. I think I might stay in this room if I was to go here. You got a nice look over the market, and a nice look at stuff. But what I did think was unique and interesting was this, the fact that this is all open. And you know, at first I thought like, this doesn't make sense, but then I thought, well, I've not really seen this before. It's different to how I would do it, so it's actually unique and it's different. And having that big space there makes it feel more interesting. It makes it, the building, like, just have its own personality. Even with windows in here, like, you don't need the windows there, but I don't know, I just think it works really nicely to get, and the whole plot just seems to come together nicely, and it's got a good unique feel to it. So again here, you know, trapdoors on the stairs to stop you dying. You don't want your guests dying in your hotel unless you're Burke and her. And then you've got another set of beds up here. So let's go all the way down. I suppose not having trapdoors makes it easier to get out of buildings. And you know, we'll follow this around, and again he's got this wall running along here, and he's got these bushes and the fern and the flower and stuff. So it's just adding that small bit of extra detail that suggests there's more beyond the plot. Coming round here, this is the last building to look at. I like how this is quite open, makes it feel like it continues off, and I'd actually love to see it continue off. I'd love to see like a full city of this, but obviously I know it's taken him a very, very long time to build this, so I wouldn't expect that of him. Little outhouse there, and this is all along the waterfront now, and you can tell it's just like a little sort of overgrown, not really paid to, no attention to detail area. And by attention to detail I mean like the people who live here don't look after it. There's obviously attention to detail in the section, that's why the plot's being given 10 out of 10. So we've got a small little building here that you can walk through both sides, and you'll understand why when you go outside. Upstairs is just another little simple bedroom area, I think. You've got benches, a little bedroom there, and a little closet and stuff. So yeah, we've got all these nice simple designs. And outside here you have a blacksmith. So now it all makes sense, like why you can walk straight through, because you need to have that throughway to get out here. And you've got these little iron bars. I'm not sure if you noticed them when I walked past. I don't think I did make a feature out of it, but you can see them from that path on the other side. And when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, is that a prison or is that a basement or something? What's down there? And I got here, I was like, oh, this is a really cool idea. So you know, you got chains and everything hanging and weapons and all sorts going on, and it's great. The only flaw I do have is this cart. How does this cart get here? I mean, I guess it's just about big enough to fit here, but then the bushes are overgrown. You know, it's a small flaw, but you know, it's really nice, and the whole plot works together well, and I love it. I actually do love this plot. I think it's brilliant. And you also have a little way to get out here from this hotel area. And with this being I keep saying hotel, I'm assuming it's a hotel. Maybe it's just another type of inn. But what's that sign say? Keys. Yeah, keys. So it's got to be a hotel, hasn't it? It's got keys and stuff. Didn't even see this room earlier. There you go. So yeah, with this being like an outdoor area, again, maybe you could have put a few chairs and stuff. Maybe made a nicer garden out of it. Maybe it's a little bit more well kept, and then block it off here. And I mean, you've got these two benches, but I don't know. All in all, it's a really tough call to make. I did get a few other admins to come and check it out. They were sort of like, yeah, 9, 10 out of 10 type of plot. And maybe I was just feeling nice that day, and that's why I've gone for the 10 out of 10. But the small changes that I want him to make, or that I suggested that he could have made to make this even better, are like so minute that it's not enough effort to actually go back and change them to that's a really cool lamppost design. Wow, take a look at that, guys. Using the switches, that's really, really cool. I like that. I mean, somebody could completely just mess it all up for you by doing what I just did and just doing that and then running away, but that's really nice. I've not seen that before. Again, I wish I had the Conquest update so I could see that as the lantern. But, you know, even underwater, it all works. It's all got the detail underwater as well. So all in all, I think this plot is, well, damn near perfect. That's why I've given it 10 out of 10. I mean, I've been a bit lenient. It's got a few mistakes, but there's not much more that you can do on a P plot. And you know, the feel of the plot when you're walking around, it's like a nice busy town, and I don't know, I really enjoyed this plot, as you can probably tell by my lack of ability to speak. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this plot review as much as I've enjoyed sort of reviewing it and walking around this plot. If you want to come here on your own accord, it'll be in the description, but you do plotme TP 9 semicolon -5, and that'll get you to this plot. And it's made by the Wiz King. Had quite a few helpers, Not sure how much each of those helpers have done on this plot. Didn't notice that at first, but you know, it all seems to have worked fine. I think Solitary did mention something about this crane, or maybe it was this crane. But you know, I didn't even notice that actually. That's another little water thing, and that works for the blacksmith. See, just little things like that that I think just work perfectly. And right, yeah. So this video's been going on for long enough now, guys. I'm just gonna keep talking and talking and talking otherwise, so I'm gonna end it. If you've enjoyed this video, this is the sort of things we want to see on the server. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.